I want to begin with acknowledging all of you for joining these webinars that we are calling Just Being Yourself Powerfully. And I want you to bring to your mind, what is it that you personally mean, or what do you personally relate to when you think about being yourself powerfully? And just being yourself powerfully. Nothing more, nothing less. What is your version of that? And take responsibility for what today's session creates for you. And now I'm putting up a slide for you to take a look at. On the left is Napoleon, an emperor and a conqueror of most of Europe. And on the right is Helen Keller. On the left, Napoleon made these statements that you can read. These are his quotes. He said, "May God protect me from friends, and I'll deal with my enemies myself." And look at what Helen Keller said in contrast. "I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. I will not refuse to do something that I can do." And Helen Keller, as you know, was deaf and blind from her very early childhood, very, very little age. So before she knew her first spoken word, she was already blind and deaf. Now you can imagine, how did she learn? She didn't just learn, she got university degrees, including one from Delhi University. Delhi University also gave her an honorary degree. She got a lot of graduation and post-graduation degrees. She went around the world speaking. So some puzzle for you just to ponder over. How does a deaf and blind person learn? I leave that to you to puzzle over. If you like, you are most welcome to read her biography. But the agenda that I want to focus upon is what is written beneath their quotes. Napoleon said, "I have never known 6 happy days in my life." And he was an emperor. And Helen Keller said, "I have found life so beautiful." I want you to contrast these two experiences of life. There is something uniquely different about how they are viewing the situation. Are you present to the fact that the reality is not what they are seeing? They are seeing what is their version of reality. Can you see that? Can you see that what they are looking at is something to do with what they bring their intention to see? Can you see that? Let me say that again, that we don't notice the world as it is. We notice the world as we choose to put our consciousness upon it, what we choose to interpret the world to be. We choose to interpret. Let me just say, like in a fashion which, say, if we are working in an office, a new person joins that office, and that person is brand new, so nobody knows what is the nature of that person. But if you choose to bring an intention to that person being, wow, what a friendly person that is, warm, helpful, then you may be surprised how helpful he ongoingly begins to appear to you. But if you going forward, if you say going forward, what a selfish guy, I've noticed he's selfish, then you begin to gather evidence that he is selfish. Notice he didn't even look at me that day when he was saying hello. He was not so disrespectful to me. You gather evidence for what you decide should be your view going forward. But the truth is, we do it without any sense of awareness. We are not aware. Say, for example, when we are looking at the world outside and I say it's a beautiful day, the day is never beautiful. I create beauty by saying it, by calling it beautiful. Can you sense it? Can you see that? Yeah. So the point that I'm making is there are two kinds of conversations, two kinds of things that I communicate. One of them is assertion. Assertion is like, it's raining today. The other person can say, no, see, it's not. That's not so. Suppose I said, it's so sunny today. Person will say, no, it's cloudy. That is a kind of assertion I have to prove. I have to validate. I have to show them. That's an assertion. But there's another kind of communication, which is called declaration. Now, declaration creates beautiful day, a wonderful human being. I am feeling great. I am feeling self confident. Unbelievable opportunities in life. These are declarations. They come to life through your integrity. When you have brought yourself together, bound yourself together as one entity behind your word, you are not disintegrated into small, small fragments of my words are going somewhere, my ambition is going somewhere, my want is going somewhere, my feeling is going somewhere, my friends are taking me somewhere else, and my actions are taking me in another direction. When that is not going on, when you are actually binding yourself habitually through small games, to really act in unison with whatever you are committed to, one small step at a time, then you begin to have what we call integrity. And then when you are standing in integrity and you say, it's a beautiful day, then the day sends vibrations through your being that you can feel in your fingers. And that happens through declaration. And guys, now that brings me to to the second part of this conversation. And that's about, does it happen in your life? Does it happen occasionally in your life that when you wake up in the morning, the first thought somewhere is that, did I wake up in time? I have to now start doing something. I have to do some exercises. As soon as you wake up, you are fully present to, I have to do exercises. I have to get ready. I have to go to office. There's something that I may be missing. So I must, I must, as if a small burden of action is already waiting for you before you've woken up your eyes, before you've opened. Can you sense that? And then you take your car keys, get ready, rushing sometimes, and then you start driving to your office if it's no longer work from home, which is what we are experiencing gradually now. And as you are driving to office, once again, the world is as if resisting you. The traffic is not making way for you, so you have to kind of push through. You have to kind of make way for yourself. And that gentle push started in the first moment in the morning itself, that I have to get off this wonderful bed. I have to, I must, I should, I have to start pushing. And then you get to office, and then you have to talk to somebody and try to make something happen there, and they are going to resist it. So as if we are gently pushing against a resistance almost right in the morning, and therefore onwards. Can you sense that? Everything is gently resisting me. Can you perceive that in your being? Can you see that it's going on in your life? Tell me if it's present for you.
Yes.
What? Yeah. And it continues almost all day long. And you come back and you look for a relief. I wish there was a chutti from it someday, in which I didn't have to. But that chutti is not happening. When the office is not giving you some have to, then home is giving you something that you have to do fitness, you have to otherwise do some spiritual work, some reading, improve, stretch. And it doesn't ever need to feel to stop. It's as if like walking in water, and the water is offering gentle resistance to my forward motion, always constantly pushing me back, little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. And it takes a certain energy to live. Can you sense that heaviness in life? Yes. Yes. And it becomes even more pronounced and substantially heavy in the face of frustration, failure or an adversity. As soon as there is a failure or a frustration, there is a setback, there is an upset, or you're brought yourself to be utterly disappointed, immediately it shows up as, why is this going on in my life? Why me? Why is this resisting me? And what is my fault? It's not my fault. The context that this setback creates for me is that it's me in here who is small and insignificant and a little bit powerless. And this powerful world is kind of blaming me, disappointed in me, and it is kind of resisting me. Are you present to that? As if I am not the cause of whatever is going on out there. I'm not making it happen. This failure, I didn't make it happen. Even if it were your own paper that you wrote your mark, like an examination, I wrote those paper, I got some marks, it shows up as not my fault. I did the what I could. Why does it have to be so difficult? Doesn't it show up like that? Can you see in which context is this it is going on in your life? Can you just give anybody, can you give an example of that? That I'm as if a victim inside, as the cause and the control is out there, which is somehow making it happen. I'm not fully in control. And it shows up even more powerfully when there is a frustration or a failure. Any examples? So that it becomes real, guys. See, let me give you an example. If I have spoken to somebody and that person has not enrolled into a program, I start looking at it at its resistance, as I've somehow not been fully present to it. What did I not do right? I did all that I could. Why can't he, the other person? The control is still not with me. Can you sense it? In what form can you sense in your life? Just give me an example, if any of you are willing to share an example. And I want to create that this space between all of us is 100% safe. We are committed, and I'm also inviting you to make a commitment to each other right now, guys, that we will not dishonor each other by sharing what each other are sharing in a fashion in which it makes us look bad, makes the other person look bad. Do we have everybody's commitment? Yes. And we will not take names. We will honor the person for what the people are sharing in their lives, part of it, because it's for us that they are sharing. Their sharing actually adds value to us. So tell me, where can you sense a loss of control in your life? Where can you sense that, why is it going on? Why does it happen to me? Tell me.
May I?
Sure, Vanessa.
Okay. So this is a very recent one. Less than maybe I think 6, 7, couple of months ago. So my daughter started going to engineering college, and for some time it was work from, or say learning from home. So she didn't have to go to college. Then she started going to college. So I used to take her on my. I said, okay, I'll take you in my car. So she said, no, you should take me on a scooty. So I started taking her on a scooty, and after a couple of days, she said, okay, give me a bicycle. I want to ride a bicycle. I don't want to ride a scooty. I took her to bicycle showroom. We looked at many things, and I suggested you need to buy a bicycle with gears so that your efforts are less. So she didn't understand, and there was some, with thumb you have to change gear like that. But I explained to her. Then I took her to 2 showrooms, 3 showrooms, and everybody explained. And then we came out without buying. I took her to her college campus and the normal route she takes, and we found that I explained to her, see, when I'm driving this motorcycle, scooty, on this uphill, I have to accelerate a bit more. Even then, the speed is decreasing and two of us are sitting. So I would strongly recommend that you buy a bike with gear. That will help you a lot. But she was adamant, no, I will not buy. Okay, so I bought a bicycle without gear. First day she went, and she told me, those two uphills, I have to get down, drag the bicycle for half a kilometer, and then start riding. I just know what is my fault.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, it shows up as if what is my fault? Why is it happening to me? What I mean, there's
Yeah,
that.
that's what you wanted me to bring,
Yeah,
each of us to
absolutely.
bring in. What is my fault?
Absolutely.
So,
What's my
as
fault?
a parent, I think I did everything, took her
It's
to three
not my
bicycle
fault.
showroom
And my view of
and
it
ready.
shows up as it's not my fault. Yeah, powerful. Thank you so much. Vinay, this was a powerful sharing. Vinayji, thank you so much.
It's a real life, it's
Perfect.
not, no, nothing imagination in this.
And we don't want to talk about imaginary, anybody else. Just one more example so that we can, yeah, Gaurav, go ahead. And this, it's sharing which will make these conversations real. Otherwise, they'll be theoretical. Oh, one more wisdom area. So keep it real and keep it in life. Gaurav, wonderful. Go forward, please.
Uh, so I recently had a conversation with my senior in the organization where I was asking them for a change of role. They came up with some questions and everything, and I was like, I had a multiple round of conversation, and I was blaming them. They are not doing it. They are not listening to me. Why they don't understand me and all those things. And after listening to this, now my thought process has changed, and like I need to control that, or I need to have this question why they are not understanding. What can I make it better? How can I make it better? What
Yeah, there's
questions they
something
have?
wonderful. And there is some way in which I was saying, why are they doing this here? Come on, why are they doing this? Yeah, why should
Yeah,
they? I got it, Gaurav. Thank you so much. Guys, is it present for you, all of you, that it happens in your life too? Even though you've not shared yet, everybody is present. It's present. It's going on in your life that we find ourselves as, why me? Why is it happening to me? Yes. So there is an alternative available to us. One option is to live like this. And then there is a new option. And that context and that newer version of context is an alternative which is created. We take it on as a game. It doesn't even have to be real. And I'm offering it to you. You don't have to buy it just because it's on offer. But here is what it is, it's a new definition of the word called responsibility. And responsibility, we are choosing to define as willingness to be the reason for whatever is going on in my life, choosing to be the cause of whatever is happening in my life. Willingness to be the cause of whatever is happening in my life. Now, we'll build on it. In this area where you had right now, you were looking at in your life, when you look at that very area and bring in willingness, the operating word is willingness to be the cause. What kind of cause? The cause, which is the only powerful cause. I mean, I'm willing to be the cause. I may not be the truth. It may not be the truth, but I am willing. I may not be able to see it right now, but I am willing. Now look at that very area of your life right now. Look at that very area which was right now showing up as if, why is it going on for me? And see if you can bring willingness to be the reason, be the cause of what is happening. The reason, which means the biggest reason, the most important reason. I am the reason why it is happening. It may not be the fact, but I'm willing to look at as if I am the reason. Why are you willing to look at as if it is the reason? Because it's a game. It's the game I play. This is the truth that I come from. It doesn't have to be a fact. I have created it. मैंने खुद का झंडा गाड़ा है. It's the stand. It's a stubborn stand that I'm willing to take. That I am willing. I am wanting. I am desiring to be the cause of whatever is happening in my life. That's my relationship with responsibility. Responsibility is not a burden. In this context, responsibility is not a burden. And notice that responsibility doesn't have to be a fact. It's not a truth. I don't have to believe in it 1%. I am making it happen. What the other person is reacting to me, it doesn't have to be that I can fully prove that only I am the reason, I am the cause. I don't have to see it completely as a scientific fact, yet I am willing to take it on as a stubborn, unreasonable stand that I am. Say, for example, any of you are not getting what I'm saying. If you don't get what I'm saying, it is not making an impact on what to you. Then who's the reason? I am willing to be the reason that you're not getting it. So I'll explain it again. I'll say it in English. I'll tell another of my friends to say it to you. I'll tell him to talk about that chapter, maybe in Marathi, maybe in another language altogether. Can you please? Or I will die trying. I will keep on trying till the last breath. I'll keep on, because I am the reason you're not getting it. There is no reason outside me. Can you see that it causes a powerful shift? Can you see that there is a shift that it is creating? Yes? Yes? So share what is the shift that it is creating. Ashwin, go ahead, please.
Okay, I mean, on the prior topic, like where we said, so I was part of this Oracle Financial Services for around a decade, and then I moved to another companies. However, I mean, I couldn't find that kind of a comfort, or not comfort, but that kind of a interesting role, and job insecurity was there, and it was not feeling as me giving 100% of what interests me or what I'm confident of. I mean, it was not, I mean, giving 100% of what, I'm capable of, or I can put it that way. Anyway,
the job opportunity,
so, I mean,
it was not the most perfectly aligned job opportunity for me.
Yeah. What I wanted to discover, but couldn't.
Now, if you were to first declare, not assert, but declare by creation, I am creating it, that I am willing to be the cause of whatever is going on in that zone. What shift does it cause?
You feel relieved that I am in control. I can make a shift.
Not just relieved, it does something else also. I am the cause of whatever is going on. What does it? What does it open?
Open the opportunities.
For what?
For myself to figure out more or discover
more. Action.
For action.
For doing something. Can you sense it, guys? That is instantaneously a world of action that has opened up. Look in your area, whichever area it was where we were present. We were thinking so far that, okay, I'm a victim. Right now, not going on right. This is not going on as it should have. But I'm now willing to be the stand. And let's elevate it one more level. Ukraine war. We often discuss it in a drawing room that, Indian population, Indian poverty, or there is corruption. We often discuss it. See if you can examine, what can I do here? This is occasionally often our view of whatever is going on. That, okay, what can I do? What can I do? But now when you look at from the spectacles that I'm willing to be the cause of poverty in India, I am willing. It's not the fact. It may not be the fact, but I'm willing, wanting, desiring to be the cause of whatever is happening pertaining to Indian poverty in India. The cause, which means I'm the only one who can make a difference. Then what shows up in this zone? Tell me. What shifts does it create?
Yeah, some action, something to do, some options.
And gun violence in US, I'm willing to be the cause. What can you do, Rajiv? One piddly person, what can you do? But you are willing to be the cause. Tell me, what can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do, Rajiv? What comes up? If such a matter shows up, what are the kind of things that you can do?
Right. So I guess it's not about being one piddly person there. Then you will figure out opportunities to make a difference to the gun violence. It could be
Wow.
anything that I can do within my control.
How powerful. Isn't that powerful? Isn't that a powerful shift? A part of you has always known that you contribute to the universe. But sitting in the drawing room talking is not what is making any difference. If you are concerned about the war in Ukraine, or you're concerned about whatever is going on, there's something you can do. And that something can actually be the cause of a huge thing. There's a part of you that knows that you contribute powerfully. Even a butterfly fluttering at one end, fluttering its wings at one end of the universe, makes volcano happen at the other end. So there is some powerful difference that you can make. And there's a part of you which knows that that is the truth. But it's from a very different usage of the word responsibility. Remember the conversation we were having about assertion and declaration. This version of responsibility is not in the context of blame and fault. So let's just say that we are creating a definition of responsibility that we will deliberately delete from the definition of responsibility the context of blame and fault. Who is to blame? That's not what is in the definition of responsibility. That part we have deleted. Why did you delete? Meri marzi. I am the one who's creating a responsibility definition. I'm the one who's owning it. I've deleted the context of blame, fault, pride, praise, shame, guilt. That part I've deleted it from the definition. It's not even in the context. This is not in that context. Responsibility is just willing to be the cause in the matter of life. Just willing to be the cause or willing to be the reason of what is making it happen. Just willing, wanting. And then the conversation of assertion and declaration. Responsibility is not an assertion which has to be proven. It is a declaration which gets created by integrity. You are powerful, so you declare. It does not find power from evidence. Show me how are you the cause. That's not where it draws power from. Declaration draws power from your integrity. I am going to be I'm going to lead a very powerful webinar, not as an assertion, but as a declaration. I am the cause that this webinar series will be powerful. That's my personal stand. I'm willing to be the cause for it. What shift does it happen? What does it create? What does it change if I am willing to be the cause? What change does it create? For me, what is the point of it? What change does it create? Why should I be willing to be the cause? I'm happy being a victim.
Yeah, so for me personally, I feel it will take away a lot of those afterthoughts that I get about the resistance that I experience through the course of my day and feel frustrated about it. If I were to be able to place myself ahead of everything in the day and say, well, I am the one who's doing this, that's okay, right? You get what you get what you do, right? So it's kind of that kind of thing. Yeah. So then there are no afterthoughts that I face resistance.
So true. So true. Absolutely. So true. Ashwin or Gaurav, I think we've lost Vinay for a moment. But anybody else, what shifts? When I ask you, okay, now you're willing to be the cause in this matter, what shifts for you personally?
Taking responsibility of the actions.
What does taking responsibility for action? So, okay, let me qualify what I'm asking even more clearly. I am saying I am showing up like an X kind of human being when I'm not taking responsibility. What's my fault? I'm that kind of a human being. Now I'm saying I'm willing to be the cause, and I'm showing up like the person who's willing to be the cause. What has shifted? What do you notice about me which is different?
That there is an action plan and the smaller steps what I can take to make a difference.
That's very true. I'm asking you even more different person. I'm asking you, Ashwin first showed up not willing to take responsibility. He was blaming. His fault, their fault, this company's fault, that job is not okay. Something is not okay, it's not my business. What can I do? What can I do? And then Ashwin shows up as, I am willing to be the cause of whatever, how it is showing up. I'm willing to be the cause of making a shift happen in my job. I'm willing to be the cause of making a difference there. What now? People should notice Ashwin differently. Oh, there's something new about Ashwin. What is that difference?
Accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, taking the ownership of the things rather than
you are taking ownership,
excuses.
But even your personality has shifted. Can you sense it?
Yeah.
What is that shift?
Leadership mindset.
Can you sense it, guys? And give more words to it. Give me some more words. What is it that has shifted in the person that you're beginning to notice about that human being who is showing up like this?
Confidence.
You can see that person is being confident and he's powerful. Can you sense that sense of power in him? He is not looking for power souls outside. He's willing to be the cause that he'll feel powerful. Can you sense it?
Yeah.
You notice it about that human being. Is it out of circumstances? No, his circumstances are the same. He's still in the same circumstance, but now he's willing to be the cause. When he's willing to be the cause, he's turned into Anna Hazare suddenly. This small human being was a volcano waiting to happen. Small human being who fasts people into movements. He fasts and people move. Can you sense that? Yeah? Vinoba Bhave or Gandhiji, like small human beings, sometimes naked, Gandhiji. And then, just because he's willing to be the cause of independence, just because he's saying, I'll make something else, just because I'm willing, you suddenly sense that power in him because he's willing to be that powerful human being. Can you sense that you have that? There is something that shifts, which other people will notice just around you. Palpably, tangibly. This person is something different about him. It's not usual. He's not that usual old small self. Can you sense that? That context of blame, fault, praise, credit, shame, or guilt is not present. Responsibility is willingness. When you say that I and my partner are responsible for business, how much is your responsibility in your business? Sorry, Ashwin?
50%.
Now it will be 100%. Earlier it was 50%.
See, responsibility, consider it like a balloon. As soon as you try to break it, it deflates, it goes away. There's nothing retained in it. Nothing. If you just try to break it slightly, then it's gone. It's woof, it's gone. If you just try to divide, no, but take 2% at least, yeah. Thoda to bigger. I take one break out of it, it's gone. So if you are not willing to take 100%, don't even start. Then you are kind of that other kind of guy. And let's talk about that other kind of guy. So responsibility comes at 100%. Now in your marriage, that the relationship is going to be blissful, mind fucking blowing. Who's responsible? Yeah, Gaurav. I hear you. That she gets that you love. She gets that you stand for the happiness of this family. She gets it completely. Who's responsible? You're looking at who's responsible. You are that human being that will make your career powerful. Why? Why are you that human being? Why do you have to make your career happen? Why don't opportunities make your career happen? Why does an opportunity make it happen? Because I am willing to be the cause that my career is going to take off. I'm going to concentrate. But sometimes things don't work. Sometimes still things don't work. When I was talking to one of my students when I was teaching in a university, he said, but I'm willing to be the cause, but it's not working out. It's still not worked out. I tried. As soon as you have tried and you are satisfied and you are looking at having tried, are you being the cause at that moment? Possibly not. So you have to go back and recreate. I'm willing to be the cause that it didn't work. Now there is new opportunity for action. It's still not worked. I have to try again. So something new. He didn't listen. Why? I am willing to be the cause that he didn't listen. My career didn't take off. I've made 1,000 applications. It's still not taken off. Why has it not taken off? I am willing to be the cause that it hasn't taken off even after 1,000 applications. My daughter does not listen to me. I'm willing to be the cause that she doesn't listen to me. Okay, what kind of a human being is it who takes no responsibility? What is the opposite? What is the kind of human being who takes no responsibility?
We can call it irresponsible.
Yeah, that irresponsible is conceptual, but see if you can bring it down to, if you took no responsibility, what is the language that you are speaking? What do you say about the situation when you are not willing
we externalize it?
And you say what about
Victim.
it? Like this kind of a guy. His fault. I know whose fault it is. And quite a few people actually, without knowing at all well, they're really aware, but that it is not their fault. And that becomes a very, very happy scenario. Being a victim creates a very blissful scenario. It creates a very joyful scenario. Can you tell me what is the big reward of being a victim?
Looking for sympathy.
You get a lot of sympathy, at least your own good guy. First of all, the victim is the good guy. When I used to see old Hindi movies, when Mala Sinha ki movies hoti thi, I used to hate them from the gut, actually. I tell you, I was a young guy trying to be happy, and there was this heroine, जो पहले तो उसकी शादी जबरदस्ती करा दी किसी बूढ़े के साथ, फिर वो बूढ़ा he dies, and then his whatever sister-in-law is torturing her, not giving her food, starving her, and then she is thrown out of the home. When she is thrown out of home, then उसी दिन बारिश भी हो जाती है, lightning भी, and lightning पे पेड़ गिरता है उसके सर के ऊपर, वो bleeding start हो जाती है. Then she is running high temperature, and a villain starts chasing her, and then she faints, and the hero comes and rescues. Victim is always the good guy. Can you sense it? In our stories, victim is always good. जो करने वाला ना वो रावण था, but the victim was always good. Can you sense it? It's always the good guy. There's righteousness about victim, but that is not the only prize you get. Of victimhood, there is an even more tangible reward, real benefit of being a victim. What is that?
I don't have to do anything.
Is it entitlement?
Entitlement also, and what Hemant said, it is the bliss of, there is no need, there is no, kari kuch nahi sakta yaar, jagah hi nahi hai action ki. What can I do? मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता. पता है मैंने कर भी दिया, 3 बार अप्लाई भी कर लिया था, जॉब फिर भी नहीं मिली. मैंने तो कर लिया, अब कर क्या सकता हूं मैं? वो जो यूक्रेन में वॉर हो रही है, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? वो पॉलिटिशियन ऐसा है, बंदा ही खराब है, मेरा बॉस ही खराब है, मेरी वाइफ डजंट लिसन, मैं कर क्या सकता हूँ? मतलब कुछ करने को तो है नहीं, तो एटलीस्ट पैर ऊपर करके आराम से तो बैठ जाओ. मतलब इट इज दैट हैप्पी सिनेरियो इन विच आई हैव टू डू नथिंग, एंड येट आई गेट टू बी राइट. आई कैन वॉलो इन सेल्फ पिटी एंड फील गुड अबाउट इट. हो सकता है थोड़ा सा एक पैग बना के पी लो, एंड भगवान ही दया करते हैं मेरे ऊपर, ऐसी वाइफ दिलवाई है मेरे को. I get to be so right in my view, because this is where there is just blame, resentment, and self-pity. There is no need to create any action. I can just wallow in self-pity and it is full stop. So what you are entering, guys, this area of responsibility is a very difficult area. Suddenly, There is no situation in which you can't take any action. There is no situation. If you are blind and deaf like Helen Keller, world will show up like मैं कर क्या सकता हूँ. She was actually fighting for unions, men's unions. Apart from other matters, she was actually fighting for unions. And this is really old days when you were industrialization and all that. She was fighting for them. Blind, deaf person fighting for unions. And she was going to Japan and other nations talking about that. And now you are entering into a very difficult zone, wherein no area in your life will show up as if there is no action opportunity. Every area. So you had an accident and you lost some vital part of your organ or life. Say a limb was gone. Life will show up as, what can I do? You were fired from office. Life will show up as, what can I do now? Your customer is yelling at you. You will look, I am willing to be the cause as why he's yelling at you. Life will certainly keep you very busy now if you play this game. Can you see that? But it creates beautiful, marvelous opportunities for creation. Life is suddenly a huge opportunity for creation, and you start having an impact in your life. Can you see that? Yes? But then this doesn't end here. Sometimes people have this conversation, what about faith? Bhagwan ke upar, that rely on him also. I am the cause, I am the only cause. This means I'm not even relying on God. When I was studying this chapter for the very first time and was reading this chapter, I had this huge resistance that I'm willing to be the cause. Then what about God? What about surrender to God? And this was very palpable and big problem for me. And instantaneously, when I opened the book, one spiritual book I was reading at that time, and this story came along, and I'll share you as along, and you take away what you like from it. So there's this little bird sitting on the seashore, and it wants to cross this ocean, a huge ocean in front of it. It relies confidently upon its small wings, and it takes off. And it is putting every energy into flying across the ocean. But soon it starts getting tired, but it doesn't give up. It is still putting total energy into flying across. Now she is really, really exhausted, but she does not give up. She keeps flapping her wings, totally relying on herself as if she is going to ensure she gets on the other side. Then the time comes when there is no energy left, and she's going to fall. And she's going to fall into water and drown. And at that time, she prays. She prays to God that, God, I have nothing left with me now. I am fully relying on you. I am going to give up completely. I've brought everything that I could muster to this cause of crossing this ocean. And then, not before that, then God appears as a ship. And then the bird sits on the mast of that ship and crosses this ocean that the story is talking about, Bhavasagara, which means that ocean of suffering and life. And God takes it across. But it does not happen that she can sit on the ship's mast and hope that it will take you along. It doesn't work like that. I have to first bring every ounce of my energy and capability by willing to be the cause. And then people say, sincerity, just good intention. I did the best that I could. How will you know it was the best? As soon as you called it, I did the best, it is no longer the best. You brought a full stop to it. You decided that there is no more that you can do. Then how do you know that it is the best? You have not tried the best as soon as you give up trying. So you have to keep willing to be the cause and look for new opportunities. And then God serves. God comes and helps. Can you get it? Is it present? Are you present to it? Wonderful. Now, there's one more beautiful aspect of it. Wayne Dyer takes this example.
There is Amit, if I can share.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
On the topic that you shared very powerfully, faith and surrender. And what I'm getting present to is that faith and surrender, very powerful. And God will help when one has already given their 100% effort. So there is a story that I read in, I think, Reader's Digest. And I remember that. And it is on a lighter note. But the story goes like this. There was a gentleman who prayed to God every day that God, please help me win a lottery. And he prayed very sincerely every single day. Every single day. He won't forget. He will forget everything else, but he won't forget praying to God for helping him win a lottery. Now this went on for months, it went on for years. And then there was havoc in heaven. Angels started saying to God that, God, are you not listening to this guy who is praying to you every single day? Please help me win a lottery, please help me in my life, and things like that. And God, are you not listening to this guy? God says, yeah, I am listening to him every day, but first he has to buy a lottery ticket. No, only then he can win. That he's not doing, only praying.
That was powerful. Yeah, absolutely hilarious. Very true. But notice how often that this is exactly how we play. Trying to take very little action. Thank you, Vimad. This was brilliant. And do please, all of you, this is an invitation, do please share your thoughts, not just in this conversation here, also in the WhatsApp group where we have, please record or share or just type out your thoughts about whatever we are discussing. Your thoughts will energize us, each other. It will keep my responsibility high. It will keep other guys' responsibility high. You have an opportunity to inspire not just yourself, but all of us. So please continue to share. So Wayne Dyer gives another beautiful topic to this. He talks about an orange. You see, he holds an orange in his hand in front of an audience, and he asks the audience, if I squeeze it, what will come out of this orange? People say, orange juice. And then he says, what if I squeeze with a lot of love and gentleness? What will come out? Audience says, orange juice. He says, but what if I'm angry and really exhausted and frustrated? Then orange juice. Why is orange juice coming out? Because orange juice is inside. And so he says, when you are reacting to something, say if your wife's tired or she's showing certain kind of reactions, certain pressures upon you, what is coming out of you? Why is that coming out of you? Is it because she's making it happen, or is it because it is inside you? So whatever is inside you will come out. It to the slightest provocation. So whatever is showing up in your life, you have to take full responsibility for, even if it is a feeling. I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling disappointed, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling pained. You have to take full responsibility to heal that. It's not because something is triggering there and then you can completely relax, no opportunity for action. What is the feeling that is troubling me? I am taking fullest ownership of that so that I can heal it completely. And now, how do I heal it? That's a good chapter. We'll talk about it. If that is something that is bothering you, we'll talk about it. The simple shortcut is to give yourself a lot of space, spaciousness. Heal with spaciousness. Give yourself bigness, space to heal. We'll talk about it in greater length. But that's the first part. Any feeling. Achha, the other brilliant thing that will happen as soon as this session ends is that you will begin to see that other people can definitely learn from what we have taken away from this session. So the other person is getting irritated in my presence. I can tell her that you have to take ownership for whatever is showing up right now. Can you see that? Immediately we know that all of these learnings can be applied on other people. See, guys, there's only one person to improve. In this world, let's change the agenda completely. Everything else that we do is to just validate ourselves, prove ourselves right, invalidate another human being. Otherwise, there's only one person to improve, and that person is sitting in your chair. Change this agenda of pointing out, can you improve? If you can completely take ownership that if I was to improve myself so brilliantly, then in my presence, people show up powerfully. Just my presence is enough. I don't have to speak a word to influence another human being. That's the kind of power we want you to radiate. So the other people say, what's new about you? That in these 4 sessions, something has shifted for you. Don't give them perversion and torture them, because you have to take ownership for whatever is showing up for you right now. So see if you can do that, because that's what I do all the time. But that's what I used to do even more. But even now, my wife, because she's not forgotten what I used to do more, she still never forgives me. So she tells me that, what you never have to practice what you preach. So take full responsibility for that. One more level of responsibility is to take responsibility for your full experience of the universe. Whatever you are showing, whatever is showing up in the world is your interpretation of the world. It is not so. Remember the first conversation we had. Whatever experiences are showing up, whatever interpretation is showing up, it's yours. You created it. So does it mean that the Ukraine war is not bad? The world is as it is. But if you are taking this as an opportunity to take action or to suffer, it is your outlook. So what I'm inviting all of us to do is, even my experience of another human being is fully my responsibility. I am making it happen. I'm causing the matter that what am I suddenly attuned to? I'm attuned to his irritation. He's being irritating, or I'm attuned to that marvelous human being that he is. I'm even paying attention to that. There's a beautiful example of, on the previous topic, a story of a monk, a Zen monk and a samurai warrior. A samurai warrior goes to this monk and tells him that, please teach me about heaven and hell. And so the monk says, whom to you? To you should I teach you? Look at you, so uncouth. Now samurai warriors are extremely disciplined, and they take pride in their sadhana, if I was to use that word. But this monk is saying to you, you filthy, uncouth, indisciplined fellow coming to me for learning. This guy is furious, and he keeps abusing him. You will not learn one worthwhile thing in your life. And this guy is so angry that ultimately, when he keeps abusing him, he lifts his samurai sword and he's about to slash this guy. And at that point of time, the monk says, this is hell. And at that time, the samurai warrior is fully present to the selfless sacrifice that the monk was willing to make of his life itself to teach him, to give him the experience that anger, that negative emotion itself is sufficient to give him the experience of complete torture in hell. And so he falls on his feet. He puts his head on his feet, and he's really so grateful. And that's when monk says, this is heaven. Notice that it is in our creation, the anger, the frustration, and this bliss of gratitude. What it creates is in our outlook. I am looking at the world, and the world is appearing as it is appearing. World does not have an is nature. World is. So spend some time and write it down. What do you say about world? World is. People are. And then in the second step, take ownership for what are you saying? It is your creation. World is. People are. I have created them in my interpretation. Notice when you interpret them in a certain way, you also gather evidence of them being a certain way. You create agreements. Like a new person, remember that example of a new person coming to office, then you start looking at other people also. Isn't he selfish? Isn't he really selfish? Remember, he didn't look at me when he was saying hello. The other person might say to you, yeah, I know. As soon as the person says, I agree that the person is selfish, we have an agreement. The person turns completely selfish. And we start looking for the third person to agree to us, to turn that reality even more. But if the person says, No, yaar, the person is such a good guy. No more reality. So we create our reality by agreements.
So what is truth?
What do you say? So what do you say? So sun is hot today. Sun is so pleasant today. Which one is true?
That is what.
If you say so. It's warm is nice sometimes. It's energy. It is giving me energy. It is bringing me in touch with the hugeness and energy that I can be. I'm not saying, see, this is a very elevated conversation, but I'll just say that the ultimate truth is not subject to description. You know it intuitively. It is so silent and powerful. It's not that you need to describe it. Any other version of it is just an interpretation. And you can have another interpretation. That's why even about God, they say he's like this and that, but there are so many conversations. All of them are wrong and insufficient. Isn't it? Ashwin, do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is truth? Whatever you say, whatever you keep on saying, it appears so true to me, And that's why.
Okay, is that the purpose of like to find the truth? Or that's not the thing.
If you say so, no doubt about it. At the end, you might find that the truth is silence. Go figure. The truth is nothing, everything. That this nature is truth. You might discover that it's so. The truth is such that it is not wordy. Then what do we do with it? That it cannot be interpreted. I can't describe it in words. I can be with it. I can experience it fully. Then what? Right? It may be the purpose, but the purpose is not going to be served by knowing, wisdom, talking about it, maybe. But if stay course of these conversations, which actually elevated to some of that, and we will turn more vibrant. Let's see you, and there will be tremendous opportunity for you to add value to this. Ashwin, this is a brilliant question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Guys, what are you present to when it comes to responsibility and your life? Share, please. We are coming to the last 15 minutes. So I have one more powerful distinctions to share, to talk about, but if it'll be very fruitless if we are only talking conceptually. So please do share, talk about your life. What are you present to as far as your life is concerned? What will you begin to see differently in your life through this conversation? Anyone? Remember, we don't have to turn it into concepts. If it turns to concepts that is wise and sounds good, then it's completely useless.
Yeah. So, okay, bunch of emotions there, but I see the value in what you are saying. I experience it sometimes that I am responsible. Say, for example, I am in a sort of a role where I have to do a lot of sales, which by default means I also face a lot of resistance. And I own up for it in that area of work. I know because I am doing the sales, I am going to see resistance, and it's my job. I get paid to overcome it, and I will be unsuccessful. So I think I'm very neutral on that. But when it comes to personal life, my relationship with kids, wife, there, because of the, let's just call it societal grooming or anything, okay, I feel that I can benefit from what you are saying, right? I don't take the responsibility to that extent, and I tend to apply my interpretation on it, or judgment on it, which I should not, right? And I can benefit from it. I mean, that's what I'm seeing right now.
Right. Thank you, Rajiv. And you, when you brought up career and sales, then you spoke in that area. It's responsibility. You're good, and you take full responsibility already. Got it. And in these areas, you're beginning to see that there's greater responsibility as an opportunity available to me. I can take more responsibility. Yeah.
Because that's the adaptation. I was not willing to get into sales roles, 5 years back, because I was afraid that I cannot take that responsibility and I will externalize it. यार ये तो काम मुश्किल है, मेरे से होगा नहीं. Why should my career be decided by some other person's decision to buy services or not, or whatever, right? मैं अपना internal back office काम करूंगा तो it will be better and things are more in my control. I overcame that because it was the need of the hour. Now I think the need of the hour is that personal and all of this conversation that I'm trying to have with myself.
Powerful. For me, guys, when I had the first conversation on responsibility, the biggest resistance was, best effort is responsibility. When a best effort kar liya na, sincere effort, that's responsibility. Good intentions is my responsibility. Notice that it's very difficult to take responsibility. We will resist with our life because, like Rajiv said, where is it coming from? The context is in which we live. Everybody is resisting responsibility. So they will say, immediately, as soon as we talk about responsibility, they should said, no, it will be my fault then. We are saying fault and blame is not in this conversation. We are not talking about blame. We are talking to willing to take responsibility as willingness to be the cause, just going forward. Anybody else? Any other thoughts there? Hemant?
I just wanted to share that one is responsibility, which is very, very powerful. Also acknowledging acknowledging yourself, right? And I'm speaking specifically in response to Rajiv. See, Rajiv is sitting there in Toronto and it's close to 3 a.m. in the morning, right, Rajiv?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m.
Wow.
That shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just checked. It's like 2:50 a.m. in the morning and you are with us, Rajiv. So that shows already that you have taken responsibility for making a difference to your life. So there are areas that you're working on. So that is another aspect. You're already taking responsibility. So acknowledging yourself for that. And I'm sure each one of us had different things to do today morning, but still all of us are here.
Yeah.
So it is also acknowledging that we are doing what we can do. And there is more that we can do about that. But without acknowledgement, building on responsibility cannot happen powerfully. Just wanted to share that.
Powerful sharing. This is powerful. I'm present to magnificence of Hemant as a coach, first of all, for bringing this up. And also, of course, Rajiv, really grateful for your contribution to make it possible. You are adding value by making this commitment to yourself. Really grateful for that. And just to build on this point, such a vital point that Hemant made. Guys, in the area of being yourself, in the area of honoring yourself, in the area of responsibility, you have to be on your side. But that doesn't mean suspending responsibility. It means creating the spaciousness in which you heal yourself. Like I'm giving yourself the room to feel sometimes that we want to avoid responsibility. Taking ownership for that suffering or that emotional turmoil that comes with responsibility, pausing, giving yourself room to experience it fully, heal it fully by being spacious to yourself, creating room for yourself, creating space for yourself, creating time for yourself to heal fully. And now once again create, because the space will give you the experience of being huge once again. It will immediately turn you into a huge being. Notice that you are a huge human being. Now you declare again, I am willing to be the cause in this matter. Bring it on. Once again, heal. Then again, create. I am willing to be the cause. That's splendid. Hemant, this acknowledgement does that. Coaches do that. When we acknowledge you, we are making room for you to be spacious and huge. Hemant did that brilliantly. Guys, I might exceed the time by 15. Do I have your permissions? I know that for Rajiv, it gets even more tough because
No, it's good. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Got it. Guys, what about others? Just give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I know that we will try in future to be even more disciplined as far as time is concerned. But this was the first session, and thanks for your permissions. Guys, there's one concept that I want to make present for us, and that's the concept of these scams and frauds that we run in our life. And in the context, Werner calls them rackets. I'm just sharing some idea. Particularly around the people we love most, we run some frauds, some scams, some rackets. And what is this fraud? What is this scam? Who runs these scam? Are people like mafia. What does mafia does? It sets up a nice shop. Outside it'll say dry cleaning, or it'll say free distribution of food. And so in the dry cleaning, my Siri is listening to me much more carefully than all of you. So
what is it saying to you?
She is saying dry cleaning. It's finding dry cleaning outlets for me right now. So I was saying that, in the front, the shop has, we are offering these services, and we are doing these welfare activities, distributing free food and doing these nice legitimate activity. And we have such noble intentions to, in fact, and contribute to the society and contribute to making people's lives, particularly of our loved ones, better. But at the back, we have some illegal activity going on. And that illegal activity is making us some money. And the money is really the stuff we are running this shop for. We are not running this shop for this nice services that we are showing, that we are pretending to do. But actually, that money is what we are after. And running that activity, however, has a huge impact on the owner. The owner is afraid that the police will come and catch me. It is affecting my health. It's affecting my happiness. It is affected completely my relationships at home. I'm never at peace. There is no joy in life. There is no aliveness. I'm not living free like an honest, happy, independent person. That's what we do in our lives. Like, for example, in my daughter, when she would leave the room, sometimes, in my opinion, almost always, she leaves the fan on. Now, I will always tell her that, Anushka, you'll have the fan on again. Fir fan on, yaar, kamal hai. Pata hai ko bijli kitni, how much energy is being wasted in the process? Do you know the cost of producing energy is not just money, it is actually on the environment. Thermal energy or nuclear energy or whatever kind of energy it is, it's finally impacting the ozone layer, and it's all leading to global warming. So at least turn the fan off. Remember, I told you earlier also, every day I tell you, you still leave the fan on. So I am such a noble human being, concerned about nature and concerned about environment. I am constantly trying to turn her into a better human being, but she is such a fool, never learning, never ever learning anything worthwhile. This is the front. But at the back, when I say she is never learning, there is a relative comparison, me versus going on in my view. And there is one guy who is superior and the one guy inferior. You can clearly see who's the inferior guy. And by turning her unwise, I am admirable in my view. क्या समझदार आदमी है यार, कम से कम कोशिश तो करता है that nature should be impacted well. That is the cash that I'm winning. Now you can clearly see that I am not interested in that actual fan being turned off. I am actually interested in making her bad so that I feel great about it. I am really a wise person. Suppose I told fan off kar do, fan off kar diya hota, to baat hi khatam ho jati. I would have very little opportunity. Now there is a huge cost that I pay. Something very dear to me is lost. My daughter and me have a slightly bigger gap between us. When I come into the room, she wants to leave from the room. Because I've been doing this time and again and again and again. Suppose I really wanted her to turn the fan off, then what I will do is perhaps pull her hand, hold her hand, make her sit down, tell her, Anushka, how deeply I love her and I care that this light, it is something that I have produced this genuine concern about. And I'm concerned about this. Will you please do this? Because this is what is important to me. I have not done that. I'm happy just blaming. Can you notice that? Can you notice that with our loved ones, we have got complaints. She does that. He does this. Why do you do that? Why do you do this? Haven't I tried to? And I have this wisdom to see clearly that what should be done, what should not be done. So I am wiser. Can you notice that? I, in my eyes, have put myself at a position of superiority. And that's the kind of spam or scam or racket that we are talking about. And here is the definition of a racket or a scam. And the definition is that it is a persistent complaint. Anushka leaves the fan on, daughter leaves the fan on, or my wife does this, or government does this. I've got a persistent complaint that doesn't go away, that my health does not improve, that some persistent complaint is there, that my boss is crazy, that I'm not getting any jobs. Persistent complaint, no breakthrough. Accompanied with my fixed way of being. मैंने तो कर लिया जो करना था. Like, I am doing the best. I am doing more of the same. I am not doing anything new and different. I'm not trying to break my pattern. I have a fixed way of being to go along with my persistent complaint. My brother does not talk to me properly. Persistent complaint. But I am also not doing anything new. My fixed way of being. So clearly, I am avoiding responsibility. I'm not willing to be the cause of whatever is going on. Can you see that? Can you see that you have got complaints in your life too? Similar. And they have these kinds of payoffs. Number one payoff is I avoid responsibility. Nothing new to be done except blaming my daughter and playing victim. कितनी बार समझा, मैं तो थक गया समझा के, कुछ फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. So I'm complete avoidance of responsibility, playing victim, being righteous, being right, making someone wrong, winning. Can you notice I'm winning in this battle with my daughter? Or winning by losing. मैं तो हार गया यार, मैं हार गया, लेकिन तू light off कर देना. Winning or losing, this game is still going on. And then dominating. I could also use this to dominate. तू तो यार लाइट भी ऑफ नहीं करती, तेरे को इतना भी समझ नहीं आया तो पढ़ाई क्या करेगी? I will dominate in all areas using this. Or I will avoid domination so that Anushka doesn't come back to me and demand something else. Papa, why didn't you do that? So she will not, so I'm avoiding domination by doing that. And I'm justifying myself, gaining more admirable in my own view, justifying myself and invalidating another view person. These are the payoffs. This is the cash I get. This is most precious. The most precious thing to human beings is being right, looking right, being admirable in my own eyes. And that's what I'm after. But there is a huge cost. And that cost is love is lost, affinity is lost, oneness is lost. There is space between us. There is a glass wall between us. We are no longer in this powerful sense of beauty and happiness. And there is a loss of self-expression. I don't say what is there in my heart. I am never able to be powerful, and so that ease and grace is missing in each other's presence. You can sense that my life itself begins to lose vitality. I'm a pretend person. I keep finding fault with other people. There is no vitality in such way of being. Life appears to be heavy. There is no fulfillment, satisfaction, and aliveness. Something is missing from life. Can you see that this is going on in your life too? Yeah. So here is a little work that I'll invite you to do, guys. Let me bring up another slide.
So whatever is happening in your life, that happens in us. So here I am Anushka and my mother is there.
What are you blaming? What are you blaming, Ashwin?
No, I'm not blaming. Yeah, I mean my mother.
Mother is blaming you. Blame his mother is. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Remember this when I said that there is only one person to improve. Unfortunately, the first thing that happens as soon as I learn about rackets is that I can see other people running rackets far more clearly than I can see my own. You blame me. I'll tell you what this is. Let me explain. Sit down. These are actually scams and frauds that people run in each other's lives. We turn into these wise human beings who will torture our loved ones to death now, even more. So guys, watch out for this. You will immediately turn like this haloed person with light coming out of your head like this, and you will go around like telling them what they are doing wrong. This doesn't serve us. It doesn't create any happiness. All lessons apply to me alone. Other people will get their benefit by my presence. There's only one person to improve. Guys, these are the questions I want you to just pay attention to and see if you can see. Look in the areas of life where you're not lit up, where you have some complaints. Look in the areas of work and in personal life where you're not, wow, I'm fully expressed, I'm fully engaged. An area where you're constrained, where you accommodate. It's a complaint, no? So you accommodate. Or you've kind of given up. You're not creating new things, just going through the motions. You're living through the motions, or you're powerless. You don't see new openings for action. You don't see new openings for action. Make a list of such areas. This is what your Quenza assignment will also invite you to do. Such a person, have you become such a human being that when you're upset, someone else has caused it? When you've failed, you immediately are like, why me? Why can't they just do something? And life itself has turned predictable. Nothing new is happening. See if you can discover that. And look at these questions, which will show up at Quenza. If some of them are not clear, let me know. Look at the areas of your life where you are not lit up. You know what it means, right? It's not so cryptic. Where it doesn't make you jump up. Are you responsible? Are you willing to be responsible for others noticing, appreciating, and understanding you? Or are you kind of complaining, कोई समझता ही नहीं है मेरे को? यार वो मेरे को appreciate ही नहीं करते. They are not appreciating me. They are not noticing me. They are not understanding me. Somebody doesn't understand me. Are you willing to take responsibility? Had you assumed that it is your managers or employers or company's duty to know and provide all the support that you need in your job? They have to provide without you asking. Or are you willing to really take responsibility that all the support is available to you? Had you assumed that it is your boss's duty to know and appreciate you, to develop a plan for your career? Had you thought somebody else's job to develop your career? Take responsibility for that. Where else in your life do you have a persistent complaint? Pay attention to that. In which aspects of life are you not fully in the game? Which means in health, I'm not fully in the game. In society, I'm not fully in the game. In relations, I'm not fully in the game. I'm not fully engaged. That's an area of lacking responsibility. Are you kind of trying to live like an inside person, inside yourself, or really being in the game out there? I'm an introvert talking to you. I am known myself that I charge energy when I'm alone, but I am fully in the game with you. I am really fully in the game. So see if you can look where you are not fully in the game. What have you not been willing to consider as being within your control and capability? Is there something that you were thinking it's beyond you? That's lack of responsibility. And now consider which of your dreams have remained dreams and wishes. Which life's aspirations are postponed indefinitely to someday, one day, future? Look at those. All of these questions will reach you through Quenza in an assignment. I'll invite you to spend some time, slow down this assignment. Take your time looking, contemplating deeply on them.